Hi. It's the funniest thing that every day I need to remind myself that the most important things is to be aware. Every day, here I am. I practice all day long. And yet, in the morning when I awaken, I need my voice to remind me how important it is to clarify what you are doing. It is so easy having a lifetime of prior experiences to just ramble in the thoughts that you are having. They can be pertinent. I'm not dismissing thoughts. They can be everything, and they are under the sun. But I'm talking about having a sense of broad perspective, of remembering in a much more spiritual way, a much more practical way. And that's just being aware of everything that you can. And everything begins to change. Your foundation that may be just a narrow path that you are traveling down becomes the universe if you broaden it enough. And it is easy to do. All you need to do is think of the stars. Think how many more there are than what we can see. Around 5,000 we can see with the naked eye from the northern and southern hemispheres. This is astronomers saying this. Thinking about everything that's inside of ourselves. The 30 to 37 trillion cells, the processes, the glands, the organs, the whole thing. Our DNA. Thinking about time. We're done. We've got the whole kit and caboodle. Thinking about time, as I said. From when the first one-celled life form was able to survive on our planet Earth until today. 1 billion years. More, a little bit more, of evolution. Or allowing oneself just to feel a sense of reverence and astonishment at what all of a sudden, from whatever narrow thinking process we might have been having, sharing, it's blossomed into everything. Now one's foundation is much wider and deeper. One's consciousness is far-reaching. We are awakening our virtuosity, the qualities that we wish to instill in ourselves and in the very air that flows around us. Yes, this is true. Being in a comfortable posture, undisturbed, that we might focus our attention and thereby our energy in our own self-revelation, our own self-improvement, illuminating ourselves in personal realization. This is, all these words fit together like in a puzzle. Meditation, mindfulness. Samadhi to me is the continuation of these thoughts. So you already know what it feels like to be in samadhi. When you are in awe, it is a form of samadhi to me. When you, for instance, can look in the distance, overlooking a magnificent environmental site like Mount Fuji or Mount Everest or the Matterhorn or Mount McKinley or what have you, wherever, whatever, the Grand Canyon in the States, and so many other places, the Dasht Kavir in Iran, the beautiful mountains in Afghanistan, whatever it is that can bring you a sense of reverence and astonishment in this moment, this is samadhi also. So don't think it's something too crazy, but don't dismiss it either. To being able to flow more smoothly, more regularly, in more of one's journeys through one's day, feeling this current of energy that we have, that you can play with all day. It is here inside of us. It is us that are not being thoughtful. You are being because you are here, practicing. It is easy. Being aware of one's meditation exercises. For example, following one's breath. One needs to develop a relationship with your respiration. It is many things. Maybe read some books about it. I've read quite a few myself. And it's not that one has the answers. They all do. Because you are thinking about your breathing practice, about the phases of breathing, about the inhale and exhale and the pauses in between. You're thinking about what is it in this atmosphere or ether that surrounds our planet that's why we're breathing. What is the whole thing that's going on? When was the first animal, for instance, that ever breathed air from the atmosphere above the water? Most likely an amphibian, right? A frog kind of a creature, or something like that, or I don't know, a fish. Our ancestors. It's kind of crazy to think this, but look it up yourself. Know thyself. To thine own self be true. If you're not sure, if you're questioning, those are good things. Look it up. Experience it for yourself. So, meditation exercises. Breathing is a good one. What else? Pulsing. These are fundamental, right? These are the two most fundamental of our processes that we have some bit of control over if we want, if we're aware, if we're awake, if we are rising in our sense of consciousness, allowing ourselves to be broad-based. Here we are. So, breathing and pulsing, just to be aware. Just work on being aware of your different processes, these two processes in particular. Feeling your pulse. When I began my practices of being aware of my pulse, I couldn't feel my pulse. There was no pulse. I didn't have a mailbox to open up and to realize what I was, looking to sense. It took me a few practices to even come to grips with this. And it's not that we don't all have this experience from time to time of feeling on the surface of our skin, for instance, a pulse of a vein. And it's kind of like, what? We all have that. But I couldn't feel my own pulse. That's not a bad thing. It's a sense of ignorance, I guess. A lack of knowledge, a lack of being taught or learning. There's nothing more important than your breath. There's nothing more important than your heart squeezing oxygen, aided blood, through your body to feed it. There's nothing more basic than this. This is life and death right here. And yet, we've dropped the ball in our society when we had such a chance, have such a chance, and are going to take advantage of such chances to teach our children, or not to have taught them, as is in the instance of most of us. What are we doing? We're doing a lot of good things, but we're doing a lot of wrong things too. What else can we do in our meditation practices? Well, if you're thinking of your breathing, it takes time. Don't think it will happen in one day. How long does it take you to become best friends with someone? It takes a while, right? At least a few hours, maybe a few days, maybe a few weeks, maybe a few months. So, It is a wonderful thing if your breath can become your best friend. Hello? It may be a wonderful thing if your breath can become your best friend. Think about that. It is true. So while you are doing your exercise in your own meditation, then these are two ideas. And then, of course, there's the third. You are a shimmering mass of creation. You are a bundle of miracles, as I like to say. Think about yourself vibrating with life's energy. This is another most excellent meditation, all of which are being mindful. You don't need to follow a certain path. You need to have your brain involved. You can be Hindu, you can be Catholic, you can be Sikh, you can be Druid, you can be anything, Buddhist, you can be anything and are. Because everyone is the essence of godliness in this universe. Hello? We're 99.6% the same in our DNA, mankind. And we all, the entire universe, is made up of the same energy. Same, S-A-M-E, energy. Folded, etc., a little differently. And this fosters uniqueness, even with our 99.6. Look at us. We're all different. Different hair, different eyes, different color of skin, different thoughts, different physical characteristics, different, and yet similar, too. So we can take advantage of this. This is why I do a podcast. If I had no hope to communicate with you, I wouldn't bother doing it. Why? But it's good for me, too. It gives me practice. I am practicing with you. I am hearing the same words that you do, sharing the same feelings that you do. We are all bundles of miracles. So anyway, we have 14 minutes, more or less. I just want to say hello. Remember in your practice your breath, your pulse, your shimmering majesty. These are productive directions to take. Whichever spiritual tradition you have, or desire, or need, or have been brought up in, or fantasize about, do it. But keep an open mind. The most important thing that you can do is be aware, remembering the majesty and the ecstasy of being alive. Have a nice day.